Good morning and welcome to Inspirational Slow Flow Yoga. Oliver and I today are going to be teaching. We're going to start on our backs in a comfortable reclined position. So you might want to take a blanket or a towel and kind of curl up the bottom edge to create a little bit of a support for the neck. If you have a bolster and you'd like to place that behind the knees, if you're at home and you don't have a bolster, even some, pillows you can lay out and drape your legs over those. The other thing you can do is you can take two blocks end to end widthwise on your mat and then just put a blanket or a towel over that and create a little bolster that way. So that's going to go behind the knees. So go ahead and come on your back, adjusting yourself as needed to be as comfortable as possible. Turning the palms upward, allowing the shoulders to begin to release, open, just creating some space in the heart. With your palms relaxed, palms open, just be in a space of receptivity this morning to get whatever it is that you need from this practice. So maybe this is a time of de-stressing. Maybe this is a time to fill yourself back up, a time of self-care. Maybe there's something else that you need. Imagine just inviting that in through the breath and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, anything that you need to let go of in this moment. So start to slow and deepen your breath. Draw that breath deeply in through the nose, the back of the throat, filling into the fullness of your lungs, expanding and inflating in all directions. And then as you exhale, just soften the belly, soften into the rib cage, and let all the breath leave the body. Let your breath be slow, steady, and deep. Breathing into the fullness of your lungs. Maybe you decide to have a slight pause at the top of the breath, just holding that feeling of fullness, retaining the breath, allowing that oxygen to go where it's needed in your body. And as you exhale, let go of the breath, squeeze every drop out so you can make room for a fresh new inhale, creating space to fill into those lungs. Let that breath be an exchange, drawing in what you need, letting go of what you don't need. And notice as you focus your attention and your awareness on your breath, how the mind starts to slow down, how the body starts to relax, and how it ushers you into a space of presence. We can't breathe in the past, we can't breathe in the future. When we have awareness of breath, we now are here, we're fully present to receive whatever it is we need. I've been spending the last few weeks talking about what it looks like to love our neighbor, talking about compassion and kindness, talking about social justice and how we can be participants in a movement that lifts others up. And also through this whole COVID-19 situation, how can we show up to make the world a better place? I read a blog post by Madison Taylor entitled, "We Are Here to Serve," and I want to share this with you. She says, "We are living in a time of great change. Many thinkers and seers agree that humanity and the planet Earth are evolving at a quickened pace, and this evolution will necessarily be severe and seemingly chaotic at times. It's natural for people to react with fear because these changes will doubtless bring some level of difficulty and loss to many of us. However, it's essential that we remember that we were chosen to be here at this time and to be part of this process. Every movement in the universe is a movement toward love. This is true even in situations that appear on the surface to be the opposite of loving. We are capable and ready to rise to the challenges in which we find ourselves. It is helpful to reflect on our own lives and make any changes necessary to fully support humanity and the planet in a state of love. When we open our hearts in love, instead of closing them in fear, we serve the divine process. We are all powerful spirits who took form at this time to serve our fellow humans, our planet, and the universe. As we find ways we can serve, our fear dissipates. We may serve by remaining calm and loving with our children and our families, even as the situation seems dark. We may serve by sending money to people who need financial assistance. We may serve by going out into the world and actively helping to rebuild lives. Regardless of what actions we choose to take, the essential element will be the internal gesture of choosing to remain in love. That is all that is needed. When it's difficult to remain in love, we may always call upon our unseen helpers, the teachers and guides who are with us always. All we need to do is ask and then trust that we are being helped. The guidance we receive is love itself, showing us the way. Take a few moments and just allow that message to land in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit. If it's available, slowly begin to bring the soles of the feet together and rest them on that bolster or stack of pillows or whatever it is that you may have had behind your legs. You can also just rest them on the floor, or if this is too intense, you can rest the legs over the bolster with the feet together in more of a diamond shape. Just begin to settle in, just allowing the body to open here, just by virtue of time and breath and gravity. One of the places that we tend to hold tension is in our jaw. So notice if your jaw is clenching. Perhaps breathing in through the nose and out an open mouth will help you to release the jaw. The posture that we're in right now is the exact opposite of the posture of fear. This is a posture of openness, an open heart, an open body. When we're in a state of fear, we clench our teeth, we close off our heart, our shoulders lift toward our ears and roll forward, our hips tense and tighten, and we come into more of like a fetal position. Let's continue to posture ourselves for love, kindness, compassion, service, and generosity. Slowly begin to bring the legs together, and then we'll gently draw the knees in toward the chest. So you can bring the hands below the knees or behind the knees, and just start to squeeze them in gently, compressing into the hips and releasing that low back. Notice if the shoulders want to lift up by the ears, and just draw them away from the ears here. And then we're going to slowly begin to take the knees wide Bring them forward, back together, and in toward our heart. So we're circling the knees in opposite directions. Breathing, just opening into our hips. Opening into our low back. Good, take it in the other direction. See if you can find the edges of your hip joints. This helps to lubricate our hips and restore range of motion and ease of movement. Next time those knees draw in, just hug them in toward your armpits. Lots of breath here. If it's available, reach through the opening. Take hold of the big toes with your first two fingers, or maybe reach for the edges of your feet. If that's not available, you can take a hold of the backs of the calves or the knees. We're going to stack the feet over the knees in happy baby. Keep drawing the knees toward your armpits. We're going to rock a little bit here, side to side. Lots of breath. Maybe you straighten one leg a little bit and then the other, rocking side to side. Starting to open into the hamstrings, the hip adductors or the inner thighs and the groin area. Good, come back to center. Just hugging those thighs a little closer toward your ribs. Good, draw those knees together. And then we're just gonna rock side by side. Take a moment to notice which side you're breathing out of more easily. And then roll to that side, just pausing for a moment in a fetal position. You can move the props out of the way, roll to one side, just pause there and breathe. I read a quote that I thought was so beautiful by Ilia Delio, and it says, "Compassion is a thread that binds together the deepest centers of life beyond the borders of race, gender, religion, tribe, or creature." And the fact of the matter is that compassion isn't just a feeling. Compassion calls us into service. When we are in service to other people, that is compassion in action. That is love in action. We're going to slowly begin to make our way up onto our seat. And so if you'd like to, you can take one of your blankets or towels and you can roll it and create a little cushion for your seat, but we're going to just bring the edge of the seat to the edge of the cushion here. Good, extend those legs out long. Drawing the toes upward toward the nose, engaging the legs like we're inner spiraling the thighs toward each other. And then get nice and straight here. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Take your hands alongside your hips. We're going to press those hands into the floor. As we do, draw the shoulders back and down and lift through the heart. Chin is parallel to the floor, crown is lifting. But press into those hands so much that you feel like you're almost going to elevate your hips above the mat. Legs are engaged. Everything is working here. This is staff pose. Make sure you continue to breathe. Beautiful job. On the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. So notice that the shoulders are creeping up and just sink them back down the back. And then on the exhale, as if you're handing a ball off to somebody, keep the spine straight and long, reach forward. Beautiful. On the inhale, come back up. Keep the core engaged, spine long and straight. We're going to do that again. Exhale, reach forward. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Nice. Last time, exhaling forward. And then just float your hands down wherever they fall. We're drawing the shoulders away from those ears, so check if there's rounding in the spine and see if you can kind of melt your heart toward your knees or thighs. And then release the head. Your crown will move forward as you draw the chin in slightly. Nice long neck here. In this forward fold, just releasing tension through the back body, melting, softening through the heart, leading with the heart. Service is about leading with our heart. Oftentimes we overthink it. We talk ourselves out of it. We let fear be in charge. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's leading with an open heart. And it's not letting fear paralyze us. On the inhale, walk the hands back toward you. Good. We're going to bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, take the hands behind you, and then we'll just tick-tock the knees from side to side a few times. Kind of loosening up into the hips and the low back. Good. Bring those knees back up. Again, you can have a blanket, or at this point, you might want to move it out of the way. Just see what feels best for your body. And then we're going to go ahead and place our right ankle on top of our left knee. In fact, I'll switch so I'm mirroring you. Good. Bring the hands behind you. We're going to gently encourage that right knee forward. Draw the shoulders back and down. Breathe here. Stretch into the hip. Make sure you're not lifting those hips. Make sure the shoulders are continuing to draw back and the heart is nice and open. Beautiful. Breathe. And then we'll rock a little here side to side. A little more opening, loosening into the hips. All right, come back to center, extend that leg out, and then sit up nice and tall. We're going to gently press down into that knee, staying long and lifted through the spine. Your extended leg, the foot is flexed and the leg's engaged. I apologize if my cat is being a distraction today. I totally forgot to put him away. But he's here for entertainment, I guess. Leading with the heart, we're going to fold forward over that leg. Oh, big stretch into that hip. Breathe. Again, keeping the shoulders drawn back. Crown moving forward. Slowly coming up. Go ahead and take the foot to the floor with the knee pointed up. Now, if you feel like you're leaning to one side, you can always bring the foot to the inside of the thigh. Otherwise, place it to the outside. Take a hold of your knee with your left hand. Let's reach the right arm up for length. So stretch and reach up. And then we're going to begin to twist to the right, leading with the belly, the chest, and then the head will follow. Place the hand to the floor, press down, so root down to rise up. Continuing to lengthen on those inhales, and maybe on the exhale, there's just a little bit more space to move into without forcing. This twist. We're wringing out the spine, we're wringing out our internal organs of digestion and elimination. Detoxifying our blood. 70% of our toxins leave the body through the breath, so maybe you're exhaling out an open mouth, letting go. Toxic thoughts, toxic energies, that stuff that does not serve you or serve the world. Beautiful. Slowly begin to come back. Unravel the legs, bend into the knees, bring the hands behind for a moment, and then just tick-tock a few times side to side. Good. This time we're going to place the other ankle on top of the knee, flexing into the foot. Hands come behind, and then encourage that knee forward. Press the knee forward. Make sure that the shoulders are drawn back and down. A few breaths here, lifting through the heart. And then we'll go ahead and tick-tock side to side. Extend the leg long, sitting up nice and tall. Hand to the knee, gently press it down without forcing. Again, long straight spine here, breathe. Draw those shoulders back and down, lift through the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, leading with the heart, fold over that leg. So I want to share a little bit about Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa chose to serve the poorest of the poor and live among them and like them. She saw beauty and value in every human being. She strove to make the lives and deaths of those around her more peaceful and full of love. Slowly begin to come up. Bring the foot to the floor. Again, if you need to bring it to the inside, feel free to do that. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen into the spine. We're going to hold on to that knee. Bring reach the hand up, and then slowly twist to the other side. Just realized I forgot to switch sides because I was mirroring you. So reaching up, sliding that hand back, twisting from the belly, the chest, and then the head. Good, continue to lengthen, and then exhale, find a little bit deeper twist. So in the book, Where is the Love? Where there is love, there is God. She writes, love is a one-way street. It always moves away from the self in the direction of the other. Love is the ultimate gift of ourselves to others. When we stop giving, we stop loving. When we stop loving, we stop growing. And unless we grow, we will never attain personal fulfillment. We will never open out to receive the life of God. It is through love we encounter God. Keep breathing. Keep that heart nice and open. Beautiful. Slowly begin to unravel, coming back to the center. Unravel those legs, and then we're going to go ahead and do some cat-cows with the knees bent. So curling the seat back, drawing the navel in, rounding the back like you're pressing your spine to the back wall, and then release your head down. Good. On the inhale, begin to slide up. Bring the hands behind you. Open the heart. Draw the skull back. A little back bend here. Good. Exhale. Come to neutral. Bring the hands to the legs. Drop back. Round the spine. Chin to chest. Inhale. Coming up. Hands behind. Open the heart. Draw the skull back. Beautiful. Exhaling, rounding it out. Inhaling, lifting, arching the spine. Beautiful. We're going to come neutral with the spine. Bring the legs to one side just so we can come onto all fours. And then if you're healing in your knees or you want some additional support, go ahead and place a blanket underneath those knees. And then if you have blocks, we'll go ahead and bring those near the front of the mat. Go ahead and just slide them up there so they're available. Good. Take the knees wide, bring the toes together. Now, if you're healing in your knees, you may want an additional blanket or towel behind the knees to just cushion those knees as you bring your seat back toward your heels. Beautiful. So bring the seat back toward the heels and then slowly stretch those arms out long. Take the arms wide, melt the heart. The head feels like it's kind of hanging. You might take a block and place it underneath the forehead. You can also stack the hands underneath that forehead too. I think one of the reasons why people don't serve is they don't know where to begin. It feels overwhelming, and the problems just seem so big and overwhelming, and there's so many people with needs that we don't even know where to start. Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. She also said, we cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So maybe we're just doing just small things for even just one person, and that can have that ripple effect on the world around us. So we begin to rise up. We're going to bring the knees so they're directly underneath those hips with the toes pointing back. Keep the hands fanned out nice and wide here. Good. And make sure they're at least shoulder width distance apart, and they're kind of in front of you. So not underneath the shoulders, but more toward the front of your mat. And then on the exhale, we're going to rock those hips forward, bending the elbows slightly, pressing into the mat to lift up. Shoulders are drawn back and down, heart is moving forward. On the exhale, take it back. Maybe tuck those toes and stretch into the shoulders and the back. Good, we're gonna rock back and forth like this a few times, allowing those hips to soften toward the mat, but being strong in the upper body. Really press into those hands, lift up. Exhale, take it back, maybe opening the bottom of the feet by tucking those toes. Good, let's do that again. And take it back. Nice job. We're going to come all the way forward onto the belly. So coming forward, release the thighs, the hips, then the chest as you slowly lower down. Beautiful. We're going to bring the forehead to the mat and take our hands onto our low back. So bring the fingers and thumbs together, index fingers and thumbs together in a diamond shape, right at your sacrum. Press the elbows down toward the floor and draw the shoulders back toward your hips. Press into all 10 toenails, tops of the feet pressing into the floor. Engage the legs, draw your navel toward your spine. Good. On the inhale, begin to lift up. As you lift up, maybe you also lift the legs. It's a version of lotus. On the exhale, slowly lower down. Forehead to the mat, feet back down. Good. Keep those legs engaged. Inhale. Press the feet away from the body as you lift up. Opening into the heart. Keep the shoulders drawn back and down. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Two more like that. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Last time. Inhale, lift. We're going to hold here for a few breaths, pressing the elbows down, sliding the shoulders back, pressing the feet away from the body, crown lifting. Keep that core engaged. Beautiful. Bring the hands alongside your ribs, float the feet back down, and we're going to press ourselves back, finding a child's pose once again. Or maybe it's in your practice right now to go into a down dog. We'll be coming there together in just a moment. So you can stay here in child to make your way there, your choice. Just releasing that low back. Martin Luther King Jr. said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the purpose of life is not to be happy, it's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. So they begin to come up, keeping those hands spanned wide. Bring the knees under those hips, tuck the toes, and then we're going to press our chest back toward our thighs, pushing the mat forward with our hands. Ears line up to the insides of our biceps. Engage the core, and then slowly begin to lift the hips up and back, and begin to walk your dog. That upper body is pressing back toward the thighs. Your crown is moving toward your thumbs, shoulders drawn away from those ears. Weight is moving back toward the heels. Keep breathing. Nice job. We're going to slide forward into a high push-up. So if it's not in your wheelhouse today to be in this higher version, bring the knees to the floor. We want to make sure that the spine is long and straight. So kind of curl your tail under slightly, draw the navel in. So you're lifting from that underside of your belly. Broaden through the upper back, shoulders are nice and strong, not dumping into the shoulders, and the crown is moving forward. Check in, we want the creases of the elbows to orient forward, so you can just actually rotate the arm bones so the creases of the elbows face forward. On the exhale, bring the elbows alongside your ribs and lower down. Inhale, press back up, find that up dog. Now we're in a back bend, let the hips press down. Legs are still strong. Curl the tail under, curl the toes under. Take the tail back, press down into those hands to lift the hips up and back into down dog. So that's the lower end of a Sun Series A. Bend into the knees, and then we're gonna step or walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. We'll put this all together in just a moment. Bend the knees deeply, letting your rib cage and your belly press to those thighs. Good, let the crown hang toward the floor as you slide the tail upward. Draw the shoulders away from those ears. Good, on the inhale, lift halfway for length, bring your hands to your shins. Crown moves forward, tail slides back, long straight spine, heart is melting toward the floor. On the exhale, bend those knees, fold it out. Rounding the spine slightly. On an inhale, sweep. Come all the way up to standing. Press through the feet, rising up through those fingertips. A little mini back bend if that feels okay for your body. Maybe even opening those arms a little bit. Just offering your heart and compassion and kindness to those who need it. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Plug into those feet, grounding down evenly into all 4 points of the feet, spreading the toes wide. Engage your legs, soften your tailbone down, drawing your navel in, up, and back. Roll the shoulders back and down, crown is lifting. On the inhale, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, swan dive, or hands come through heart center, fold it out. On the inhale, lift halfway for length. And then we're gonna step those feet back. Good. You can keep the legs lifted or you can release the knees to the mat. Your choice. On the exhale, we'll go from high to low push-up, lower down. Inhale, press right into a back bend. Engaging the legs, shoulders drawn back. Tuck those toes, exhale, press back, find down dog. Beautiful. On the inhale, step or float the feet forward. The cat in the way now. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, lift halfway for length. Exhale, bend those knees, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Maybe finding a little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're gonna do that 2 more times. It's called Sun Series A. Let it be a moving meditation or a moving prayer, a moving intention. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, and then we'll step those feet back. On the exhale, we'll take it from high to low push-up. On the inhale, press into a back bend. Tuck the toes, exhale, take it back to down dog. Inhale, bend those knees, step or float the feet forward to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, lift halfway. I'm just adding this half a lift into our Sun Series A for length. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, sweep all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep, arms lift. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Step those feet back. Finding a high push-up. Again, those knees can be on the ground. Exhale, elbows skim the rib cage, lower halfway. Release the knees, pressing into a back bend. Take it back to child's pose. Come back to a natural breath here. Reconnecting breath and body. Beautiful job. On the inhale, come back onto all fours. We'll tuck the toes. Press the chest back, lifting back into a down dog. Good. Bend those knees slightly. Step the feet forward to the front of the mat again. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, sweep high all the way up to standing. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Good. Bring your hands to your hips for a moment. We'll step the right foot back. And then we're going to pivot to go wide on our mat. So you're going to be standing widthwise on your mat. Toes will point forward or angle in slightly. Good. Ground down into those feet. Feel the energy pressing down into the outer blades of the feet. And then move the energy up the inner arches of the inner thighs and all the way up through the spine. Shoulders are drawn back and down. Heart is lifting. Your hands can be at heart center or hips. Good. Lifting through the crown of the head, leading with the heart. Hinge forward at the hips. So keep that spine long and straight. Keep the shoulders drawn back. Good. On the exhale, release those hands down. You might need a block here. On the inhale, lift halfway for length. We're going to keep the left hand down underneath the face. You might want to have a block underneath your hand, so you might choose to have the hand a little higher. Take the right arm out to the side like a wing. Keeping the spine long and straight. On the inhale, reach up, twisting the body. Breathe. Nice job. On the exhale, slowly float that hand down. And then we're going to switch sides. So right hand down, left arm out to the side. Long, straight spine. Inhale, sweep that arm up. Check in with your breath. On the exhale, gently float that hand down. Lengthen the spine here, so lift halfway, find the length. And then on the exhale, fold it out. Beautiful. So your hands can come through the opening. You can bring the hands to the backs of the legs. You can hook the big toes. Just let that head hang. Let everything just roll right off your back. Beautiful. On the inhale, lift halfway. And then we're gonna bend into the left knee and walk the hands over to the left. If you want to, you can come down and turn the toes up. Big stretch into that inner thigh and hamstring on that extended leg. Come through the opening. Let's take it over to the other side. Lots of length here, breathe. Coming back to the center. Let's take it over to the other side. We're gonna hang out here for a breath or two. Now see if you can begin to balance here. Maybe you can bring one hand up or both. One side is always harder than the other. Keep breathing. Take it over to the other side. I will not make this mistake again with the cat. Maybe you can bring your hands to heart center. Breathe here. Luckily, all of you who are going to be watching this know Oliver, so you get it. All right, let's come back to center. Lift halfway. We're going to angle the toes out this time. And then bring your hands up to your thighs into like a quarterback kind of a position. Keeping the spine long and straight, shoulders away from those ears. So even press into those thighs, outer rotation of those thighs, shoulders drawn back and down. Keeping that spine long and straight. Release your right shoulder in, take your gaze to the left, draw your left shoulder back. Woo, big stretch, breathe here. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take it over to the other side. Press into that thigh, rotating the torso, draw your right shoulder back. Come back to center, and we're gonna slowly come up. Stacking our ears over shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Knees are tracking with the feet, outer rotating those thighs. So check in, adjust yourself, and maybe kind of just shift from side to side so you can kind of settle into this shape. Let the tail kind of soften toward the floor at the same time. Keep the core nice and engaged. Good, bring the hands to heart center, sinking down. And we're gonna do a little exchange here. It's been said that we operate from two modes, either fear or love. And so today, as we go through what's called Taoist breathing, we're gonna make an exchange, letting go of fear and drawing in love. On the inhale, stretch and reach, the arms up overhead, straighten the legs. Crisscross the hands behind, bend the knees, exhale, push out fear. Inhale, take a big scoop of love. Offer it up, get a little divine kiss, draw it into your heart. Inhale, sweep, arms lift, straighten those legs. Crisscross the hands behind, exhale, push out fear. Inhale, take a big scoop of love in its place. Draw that in. We're gonna keep moving like this, make that exchange. Fear and its derivatives, doubt, worry, anxiety, stress. Inhale, love and its derivatives, kindness, compassion, generosity, patience, forgiveness. Inhale up, letting go, pushing out. Inhale, draw it in. Good, let's stay here for a few breaths. Draw those shoulders back and down, a little softening of that tail down, drawing that navel in. Keep breathing, close your eyes for a moment. Focus on that breath. Good, straighten into the legs. Take the arms out to the sides. We're gonna angle the left foot in slightly so it's more parallel with the back of your mat. And then turn your right toes to face forward. Good. Bend into that knee, sinking into a warrior two. The knee is gonna track with your foot. So don't let it collapse in. Draw the shoulders back and down. Warriors of love, kindness, and compassion. Continue to breathe. Nice job. On the exhale, slide forward. Bring the forearm to the thigh. Reach the arm up and over, side angle. Focus on your breath. Keep pressing to the outer edge of that back foot and feel the energy move all the way through your fingertips. On the inhale, come back up to warrior two. Straighten the legs, come back to center, bring the hands to touch, turning the toes forward. Now we're going to switch, so turn your left foot to face forward, bend into that knee, exhale, sink down into warrior two. Shoulders away from those ears, strong in your foundation, lengthening upward through the crown, core is engaged. On the exhale, slide forward, bring the forearm to the thigh, reach up and over. Side angle, again, feel that long line from the foot through the tips of your fingers. Continue to breathe here. On the exhale, come back up, warrior two. Straighten the leg, turn the toes, bring the hands together. Good, exhale, open up, we're gonna turn to face the other direction. Sink down into warrior two. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, slide forward, release the forearm to the thigh. Inhale, up and over. On your exhale, come back up to warrior two. Inhale, hands come together, pivot, toes face forward. Good. Left foot pivots, exhale, sink low. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, forearm to the thigh, up and over with that arm. Exhale, come back up, warrior two. Inhale, pivot the foot, hands come together. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. Exhale, pivot the right foot, sink down, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slide forward. Inhale, forearm to the thigh, reach up and over. Exhale, come back up, warrior two. Inhale, hands come together to touch, pivot. Exhale, pivot the left foot, come back down, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slide forward. Release the forearm, inhale, up and over. Beautiful. Exhale, coming back up to warrior two. Inhale, pivot, hands come to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center, back into that wide-legged forward fold. Toes are pointing forward or angling in slightly. Release, let go, open up your mouth. If you have anything in the center of the mat, move it out of the way. We're gonna bring the hands to the floor and then toe heel our feet together. Feet and inner thighs line up, and then bend those knees and begin to lower down, only to where you feel comfortable. Good. Options, you can begin to bring your hands to your heart, balancing on the balls of the feet here. You also can take the knees wide and bring the elbows to the insides of those thighs, or we can just bring the hands to the floor here. Keep breathing. This is a variation of garland, yogi squat. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bring those legs back together. And then we're gonna come back onto our seat. Roll down onto our back. Now have a block handy here. Good. Feet will be about hip width distance apart. Walk those feet pretty close to your seat so the knees are stacking over your ankles and the feet are hip width distance. Good. Knees point up, softening as much of your spine into the earth as possible. Release your hands alongside your hips. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Heart is nice and open here. Beautiful. Press into the feet and start to feel the legs engage. Imagine that you're holding something between your thighs. So we're interspiraling the thighs, but we're not allowing those thighs to actually come together. It's just an energetic feeling. And then as you engage the legs, begin to kind of shrink wrap your entire core, which wraps around the entire circumference of your midsection. And then we'll slowly lift from the hips. So the hips lift, low back, upper back, bringing that back bend all the way into the heart. Nice open heart here. Slide the shoulders toward each other. Just creating a nice back bend. Just make sure you don't turn your head while you're here because we have pressure into the back of the neck. And so we don't want to turn our head. So just looking upward, lots of breath here. Good. While you're here, we're going to slide a block lengthwise underneath our spine. Actually, not the spine, underneath the sacrum, that hard triangular shaped bone at the base of our spine. Don't let the block come up any higher than that. We don't want to have pressure into the low back or lumbar spine. So just the sacrum resting on that block. Coming into a more restful variation of this pose. Good, we're gonna stretch the right foot up toward the ceiling. You can point and flex that foot a few times. Just releasing into the ankle, also helping pump blood and lymph back toward the core, back toward the heart, bringing blood back toward the head. Good, on your next exhale, point the toes up toward the ceiling, engage that leg, so really stretch through those toes. And then we're gonna slowly take our time to bring that foot all the way down to the floor, keeping the legs straight and engaged, hugging the muscle to the bone, and then release the foot to the floor. Big stretch into the front side of your right hip. This is stretching into the psoas muscle, which is known as our fight or flight muscle. Very large muscle that connects from the top of our thigh bone, wraps through the pelvis, and connects behind our diaphragm to our 4 vertebrae of our spine. But it's hardwired into our fight or flight system. And so it knows, it senses when there's danger. Its job is to keep us safe and alive. But it doesn't know the difference between actual threats to our survival and our own fearful thinking. And in times of stress and fear, this muscle is perpetually activated, so it gets tight and hard and short. So we're going to be stretching and opening this muscle in this shape that we're in. Good, bend into the right knee, place that foot on the floor. Let's take the left heel high. And then point and flex the foot. Check in with your jaw, let your jaw be nice and soft and open. Again, that posture of fight or flight is that fetal position with our jaw clenched, everything clenching and tightening. So here we're opening the jaw, opening the heart, opening the hips. Point the toes up, stretch and lengthen, hugging the muscle to the bone on that left leg. And then slowly lower that leg down. Take your time, be controlled. And then float it all the way down, big stretch into that left psoas muscle. The other thing that this does is it helps to release the sacroiliac joints. So on either side of your sacrum, where that block is located, there's joints that help keep that area mobile. In women, that starts to fuse by about the age of 65. For men, it's 55. If we don't do things to continue to keep it mobile, and especially if we are spending a lot of time seated. So this is helping to release that garland pose, that little yogi squat we did also helps to release and open that area. Good, bend into the left knee, place the foot on the floor. Engage the core to lift those hips. And then we're gonna just lower the back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Start at the top, almost like little pearls on a string. You feel each vertebrae contacting the earth one by one. allowing your tail to come last. Beautiful. Let's toe heel our feet to the edges of the mat. Take the arms out to the sides like wings. And then tick-tock the legs side to side here. Keep breathing. This is going to help to reset the spine. Twists also help to bring the body back to homeostasis, where our body's functions can occur optimally, and that rest and digest nervous system, also known as our feed and breathe nervous system. Feel free to linger on either side for a breath or two. And then take it to the other side, keeping those shoulder blades relaxed and grounded. Come back to center. Maybe one quick little squeeze, knees into the chest. Maybe there's a little rocking here that just always feels so good. Rocking is very reassuring to the nervous system, counters the effects of fight or flight on the body. So think about a child or an infant when they're scared or upset. Rocking them helps to calm them down. Same is true with us. Come into a big, beautiful full body stretch. Lengthen the whole body. Feel all that space that you created this morning and all that strength and energy you feel flowing through your body. Maybe we've ignited a little bit of a fire, a little passion for service today. And then on your exhale, just allow those feet to spread wide, rolling the corners of your toes toward the corners of your mat. Maybe turning the palms upward, keeping the shoulders back and down. Feel free to support the head if you'd like to in your final rest position. Begin to settle in, closing the eyes. So we've often heard the phrase, be the change that you wish to see in the world. This has been historically attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, this statement, but it's not exactly what he said. It was kind of shortened from a different statement that he made that goes like this. We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change toward him. This is a divine mystery supreme. A wonderful thing it is, and the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do. Which has been boiled down to, be the change you wish to see in the world. Our yoga practice is a practice of self-study, self-reflection, finding our true essence, tapping into who we truly are at our core. And as we change from the inside out, we have a ripple effect on those around us. As we change our own nature, the attitude of the world changes toward us. As you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently draw your knees toward your chest. Rock side to side a few times. Go to the opposite side from the beginning of class. So the side of the nose that you're breathing out of less easily, less freely. Gently press yourself up to a seated position. Take your time. Take one hand, rest it on your heart. Rest the other on your belly. The heart represents the center and seat of love, kindness, compassion, the ability to give and receive love freely and unconditionally. The hand over our belly represents our center and seat of empowerment, where we make things happen. When we bring those two together, we can put our love and our compassion into service to other people. We can put it in action. Feel those two places connect for a moment. Bring your hands to heart center, where the joining of opposites heals all opposites. Bow your head to your heart. The one who is here to serve in me sees and honors the one who is here to serve in you. Namaste and peace be with you.